Now, General Michael Langley is in Kenya for the African Chief of Defense Conference, and I know this person is very familiar to you guys. He's best known for his outrageous remarks towards Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traore, where he accused him of using the gold reserves in his country to benefit himself. And this is a statement that did not augur well with majority of you. I mean, guys, many people took to the streets and they were protesting and they were demonstrating and they were saying, hands off Burkina Faso, hands off Ibrahim Traore. And obviously this is not what Michael Langley might have expected, and he made a clarification yesterday. I'll be walking you through what he said. He's standing by his word. He's saying some of these things were taken out of context, but still people are telling him, get off African matters. We are about to dig deeper on why he's here and also the role of AFCOM when it comes to the African continent. But before that, I want us to be able to watch this video together, because I can bet on it you guys have not bumped into this video before. Because tell me why one of the soldiers that these people trained ended up, successfully getting the president of Guinea out. One of the soldiers that they trained successfully led a coup in Guinea, and he's now the president of Guinea. And this is Michael Langley being questioned on the activities and the trainings of these soldiers that end up even leading successful coups in Africa. Let's take a look at this footage together.
Just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
Congressman, I don't have that figure. I can get that figure for you.
Ballpark, just, how many?
Congressman, it would be a wild guess, right?
Seems like something we should know, right?
Over the years, we have trained a substantial number, especially in the Gulf of Guinea states, but including
like more than 10,000.
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000.
I say we're reaching around 50,000 at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman. Very small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
But it does happen.
The IMET program is in force, and we've pushed a significant number through our schools across the
and what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? Because it'd be like about 500, about 1% of 50,000.
Congressman, you may have that information. I don't at this time, but I know.
Well, I know there are some, right? Like go ahead and throw up that image. This is Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. And this is a photo of him. Did we train and equip him? In Guinea?
By name?
I want to roll that again for you guys. Did we train?
Photo of him. Did we train and equip him? In Guinea?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that guy in the middle with the big red hat, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, that's him, with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do we share core values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values. I will repeat that. Core values. Respect for humanity.
Do we share those values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Absolutely. In our curriculum.
He led a coup.
We do.
All right, there you go. He doesn't have the figures, he doesn't have the number, but he didn't have the same energy when he was talking about Captain Ibrahim Traore. He seemed to know what he was talking about, right? But when questioned here by Matt Guides on the role that the US plays in training people who end up successfully leading coups in West Africa, or maybe in Africa in general, he had no clue. And instead of answering, did we train or equip this guy to lead a successful coup in Guinea, he's saying, you know what, Core values. What core values are we talking about? And when you go back to this coup that was led by Mamadi and Abuya in Guinea, one of the things that you will realize, this was something that was highly criticized, because it was very surprising even to Washington for them to be able to realize that, or to come to terms with the fact that the same guy that was under our training led a successful coup, and now he is the president. But is that a surprise though? Like, even if we were to be honest about it, because tell me why we have images of US soldiers celebrating with the people of Guinea that, we have a new leader, we have a new leader. If they say they were not involved, what role do they have to be part of the crowd? What role do they have to be celebrating with the people of Guinea? If they say, Matt, we didn't know this guy, we didn't know he was even planning a coup. And I love what Matt is asking him. How many people does it take to plan a coup? A coup is not just something that you wake up and then you say, I want to take this president out. This is something that has been planned, and this is something that people have to be equipped. They have their munitions, they have all this military armor, they have all these things that they need to be equipped to have a successful coup. And now he's been asked, how did we know? How don't you know that some of the soldiers that you train end up leading very, very successful coups? And that is one of the AFCOM scheme mandates in Africa, is to be able to train. They say, they want to train African soldiers. They want to equip African soldiers. But when the same soldiers you trained end up leading a very successful coup, that is not a surprise. You can't sit there and act speechless or act as if you don't know what is going on. Well, you know very well that this person you have intelligence, you have survey. So there is no way you were there training these people and not being aware that they were leading a successful coup in their own country. I think I want to take a look at what Daily Mail had to say about this. And they said, U.S. Green Berets trained the Guinean colonel behind the national's recent coup. Embarrassed Pentagon officials deny any involvement but admit they were caught off guard. That is a Daily Mail's article of September 12th, 2021. And there are so many articles written on how Pentagon was caught off guard in this matter, etc., etc. But this is something that they might never get off their back, because again, you knew what this person, can we say allegedly? You allegedly might have known what this person was doing and what he was planning all along. But back to Langley, because we have to talk about him. As I said, he's here for the African Chief of Defense Conference, and right now, let me just play you a video that explains why AFCOM is here. And why do they really have to call it AFCOM? Because AFCOM is just African, they give it this very bougie name for you to think this has to do with Africa. But this has nothing to do with Africa. Actually, AFCOM stands for United States Africa Command. I think they should call it US AFCOM, but they don't want to call it US AFCOM so that you guys don't get to connect the dots together, that this is just an American, this is just a US military watchdog for Africa. That is what AFCOM is. And there's a particular reason why they don't want to use the US in front of AFCOM. So they give it this really bougie name, and they call it AFCOM, but in real sense, the whole the meaning of AFCOM is the United States Africa Command. So it's just part of the US military that focuses on Africa. And I'll be back to what they do, but I did promise you a video. So first, let's watch why they are here in Kenya, and then I'll be back to tell you what they do and what exactly they must be doing, or they might be doing, because what is happening right now and what I'm coming to realize, and majority of the people who are also watching, is when people tell you they are here, when Batuk says they are here for whatever, or when the US Army troops say they are here for whatever, you have to really dig deep inside and ask yourself, why are they really here? Most of the time we go with the narrative of what they say they are here for.